COP30 Climate Change Conference. COP stands for Conference of the Parties. It is the supreme decision-making body of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, which was adopted in 1992 at the Rio Earth Summit. The COP meets annually to assess progress in dealing with climate change. COP30 13th UN Climate Change Conference, host country Brazil, city Belém in the Amazon rainforest region, scheduled for November 2025, first COP held in the Amazon region. A previous question is, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change is an international treaty drawn at answer UN Conference on Environment and Development, Rio de Janeiro 1992. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The treaty was signed at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, also known as the Earth Summit. The summit held in Rio de Janeiro in the year 1992. The convention came into force on 21st March 1994. The convention aims at combating climate change by controlling the emission of greenhouse gases that cause global warming. Currently has 197 countries as its members, and provisions of the treaty are not binding on them, rather only provide directions to achieve the goals. The progress of the convention is reviewed at the annual conference of the parties. The UNFCCC Secretariat is the United Nations entity tasked with grouping the global response to the threat of climate change. UNFCCC stands for United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. UNFCCC signed in 1992 at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, also known as Earth Summit, the Rio Summit or Rio Conference. Entered into force on March 21, 1994. Convention has near universal membership and is the parent treaty of the 2015 Paris Agreement. The original secretariat was in Geneva. Since 1996, the secretariat has been located in Bonn, Germany. Objective is to achieve stabilization of greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere at a level that would prevent dangerous anthropogenic interference with the climatic system. Conference of the Parties. COP as the supreme body of the convention, as it is its highest decision-making authority. The climate change process revolves around the annual session of the COP. The office of the COP President normally rotates among the 5 United Nations regional groups. The President is usually the Environment Minister, elected by acclamation immediately after the opening of a COP session. Their role is to facilitate the work of the COP and promote agreements among parties. The work of the COP and each subsidiary body is guided by an elected bureau to ensure continuity. It serves not only during sessions but between sessions as well. The convention establishes 2 permanent subsidiary bodies, namely the Subsidiary Body for Scientific and Technological Advice and the Subsidiary Body for Implementation. These bodies advise the COP. The SPSTI's task is to provide COP with timely advice on scientific and technological matters relating to the convention. The SBI's task is to assist COP in the assessment and review of the effective implementation of the convention.